It says that you're live.
We did. You went into like Safari or something.
Oh, did you get a notification that I'm live?
It hasn't. It says waiting for NikkiPhillippi.
It says that I'm live, although it does say I have 0 viewers. So.
I bet you have more than that. I bet it's not caught up yet.
Yeah, on his phone it says waiting for NikkiPhillippi, but on my end, oh, it says 9 viewers.
Yeah.
So that must mean we're live. Is my
I
eyelash janky, guys?
I can't see it yet. Oh.
Let's see. I'm gonna click videos.
Oh, there it is.
What?
Oh, it says 9 viewers.
Okay, guys. So I know some of you were on
seconds.
there. Just give me a second. Got Emily on my FaceTime too right now. So
Every time you live stream.
every time I'm like, it's Emily in the background. So my question is, sorry everyone, it always takes me a second to figure out like what's going on. So let me try to get back to my, because I can't read any of your guys' comments until I get to like the freaking video. So
What are you
I'm just trying to make it so I can read everyone's comments.
Where's the
It should be on my homepage, but it's not showing up for home for newlyweds. Sorry guys. We will answer.
We should have practiced this for sure.
This is our practice, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm on Safari.
How do you live stream practice? You can't.
You can't. People, I see that you're all here, but I can't answer any of your questions.
Oh, what is that?
Wait,
It's
how
not
did
even-
you? Wait, where's your phone? I bet you if we go through yours, that would have shown comments.
I didn't see comments.
Could I see your phone though? Because,
Live chat.
huh?
The live chat.
Hey, why don't you just talk to people first?
Okay, but I can't see any comments. I have
That's
nothing to
fine.
talk about.
Right. So it's like, how do you answer questions if you don't see?
Yeah, I'm
Let me
just kind
try
of
to pull this up
staring.
again.
Do you guys all see how I kind of put my eyelash on a little janky? Everybody just hold on, hang tight. We're trying to figure out, since you saw the video, if you go back to that video, it
I'm
will
gonna
show you
try.
comments.
All I see is UFC on my phone.
Okay, how about I hang up with you, Emily, and I try to get on my phone?
No problem. I'll just watch.
Okay, I'll talk to you in a bit. Okay, guys, I'm gonna try to like open this up from here. It's awkward that I can't get to comments from you guys. Like it's really unfortunate that YouTube makes it this difficult because I'm like, where? It's awkward that I can't get
This
to
you're not gonna
comments
see.
from you
Hold
guys.
on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
Look, it's really
Hold on. I don't want that to echo.
unfortunate. This sucks. You try loading this again, guys.
Live chat. See, there's no comments.
Weird. Guys, this is going to be so anticlimactic if this doesn't work. This was like my Friday video was me live streaming. I have no idea where to even go, everyone. This is awkward. This is like a foiled attempt to try to do something. Like not.
Why is it like a Google Hangout?
Okay, so it's showing up on my thing. I don't know. But normally you can go on and like read the comments. There we go.
Oh,
I got the comments.
Because I've totally watched people live before, and there's like, I know what it looks like from their end.
Yeah, they've watched us now flubber around for like 7 minutes straight. So hi guys. So now that we have comments on here, we're gonna start. So we're kind of dressed up, or I'm actually not dressed up. I'm getting dressed up because Dan and I are actually leaving in like 30 minutes to go see Hans Zimmer in concert. So we're like over the moon, really excited. We've been listening to his stuff for like a couple of years now.
This morning on the record.
Yeah, we were listening this morning to the Rush album. So we're probably gonna cry tonight. Or I'm gonna cry. It's like, wait, let me change that. I'm
How's
probably
his
gonna cry
face?
tonight.
Looks so funny when it's, because we're looking at the monitor.
So it's
and
reversed?
mirrored. So the markings on his face are backwards.
Bow, man. Okay, guys. So I'm going to start reading some of these comments. Natalia says you make the best recipe videos. I love them. Thanks, Natalia.
They're fun to make.
Hi, Carly Dawn. They are fun to make. So those of you that don't know this, Dan films like 98% of my videos. So I've had other people come and film videos in the past. I've had people that work with me on videos. But at this moment in time, for probably the last, like, what do you think, 6 months, you've been filming all my videos, huh?
I still feel like I've filmed all these videos.
Yeah, like even when we had other people helping film, like he's always been a filmer. So Dan and I have been working together now for like 4 years.
I
So
better clean Belgium's teeth again.
I know. Giselle Mercado asked, how do you make that braid? I think I've made a video on this before. This is actually just an inverted French braid. Actually, let me back up. I do want to say this. We're going to try to like answer marriage questions because in the past we've tried to do marriage videos and Dan and I just have too much fun talking about random subjects. So we always end up going off on like tangents. Like I think our last marriage video ended up being all about conspiracy theories. Not quite a topic of marriage, but you know. So I'm going to scroll through, talk about music, talk about marriage. Makesha. Hi, my favorite couple. Thanks, Makesha. I've never heard that name. I know. I was just watching the video with Kendall on my laptop, so I paused it to watch this. Kendall just left my house, actually. Okay, so I'm going to look. This is a good one. Hannah Lawler says, how long were you guys together before marriage? A year and 7 months.
A year. I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
11 months.
Yeah, we got
dating till we were engaged.
Yeah, he asked me to marry him about 11 months in, and then 8 months later we got married. So a year and 7 months.
It was 11 months because I asked her to marry me on her birthday. So that's just how it lined up.
And I remember my birthday actually fell on, what is going on here? My birthday actually fell on Mother's Day. And I remember I've actually never been a very big like birthday person, which I know sounds really funny if you've been on my YouTube channel for a while, because you probably saw I did a really big party with my friend Michaela a couple years ago. And I'm actually doing a big 30th birthday party this year with Michaela again. But I always am the kind of person that gets really nervous at birthdays. And so I'm kind of like, oh, whatever, you don't have to come, like, whatever, like, just don't come. And I remember that night, like, a bunch of my friends were like, oh, I have to make it to your party. And I remember being like, it's Mother's Day. Like, you really don't have to make it to my party. And people were really like, sorry, this is driving me crazy, this little piece of hair. People
What?
were,
oh,
this. People were really insistent on coming to my party. And once he proposed to me that night, it all made sense. I'm like, that's why everybody was so insistent at being at my party, because he was proposing to me, but I didn't know, obviously, ahead of time. So, okay, let's see. What kind of music does he make? Oh, you must be referring to Hans. That's a side note. Hans Zimmer is a composer for movies. So it's all like movie music.
He wrote, yeah, you've seen Batman.
Yeah, Batman.
The Batman music. Oh, the Christian Bale Batman movies.
Mm-hmm. Inception, Interstellar, Gladiator, Rush, Pirates of the Caribbean. I'm so excited. Let's see. Caroline Rose asks, is it good to get married young?
For me?
I was going to say, I don't think age has anything to do with it.
Yeah, like every person is different. Therefore, every combination of people is going to be completely different. And so it's also different what age you get into it. So, yeah, it's just however you do it. Hopefully it turns out okay.
Yeah. I like what you said about a combination of people. I think that's a really interesting perspective too, that it's not even just about like the individual people.
No two marriages are alike, no two poker hands are alike, no two races are alike, because there's too many variables and it's just, everyone is unique. So there's no recipe or not recipe. There's no secret to it. You just have to make it work.
Yeah, I think it's your perspective. My therapist
template is what I meant to say.
Yeah. Yeah, my therapist is always complimenting Dan on his perspective, because she's like, his perspective is so mature. She always is trying to get me to realize that in life and in different situations.
Is that like super dirty?
Yeah, you're not wearing those tonight, right?
I just put these on. I'm not from Bowser?
Oh, that's not good. You're wearing your dark pants, right?
Yeah, I'll put them back on.
Yeah, I think that's a good plan.
I'm wearing a black shirt and black shoes, so that's fine.
And I'm wearing all black. Black dress, black tights, black jacket, black boots. Anyways, back to Mary Margaret. Mary Margaret always is complimenting Dan on his perspective, because she says that he's really mature in understanding that there are so many variables in everything that happens in life. And you do? I love how I just complimented your maturity and your perspective, and then you're like, I've got a day. I figured that out. yeah. Okay, so I just like your perspective. I think it's a good one, and it's one that I have to adopt more in like other areas of life. So, all right, this one we already answered. How long were you together? Someone said Dan is a great camera guy. I know he is. I actually would prefer to call you like a DP rather than a camera guy. I feel like a camera guy sounds a little more like, hey, you're just a camera guy, but you're really artistic. You're a director of photography. You've got a good eye. You understand spatial stuff and how you shoot things. He's all whatever.
Picked it up. Didn't have any prior experience to all this.
Yeah, you're really artistic though. Like he used to weld, and so welding.
Still weld.
You see, still weld.
I'm a welder.
He's a welder, and I feel like that takes artistic. That's artistry, you know. So someone asked, how did Dan propose?
I got on the knee.
I know. I'm like, should we answer that? I feel like we've answered that so many times.
Skip it. Go back to all of our other videos, and eventually
you'll find the story. Okay, this is good. Not a marriage video, but have you thought about captioning your videos, not the auto ones for the deaf? Yes, I have thought about that. I would like to this year caption videos as a side note, as well as also start translating videos. But that's something, by the way, I'll do that now. Well, I guess it is, but captioning in English and then translating to other languages. Actually, this is something my YouTube rep told me. He told me to ask you guys, if any of you are willing, because apparently it's an audience-based thing, if any of you speak other languages, I was about to start listing them off, like Spanish, anything, but I don't need to list off all the languages, and you would be willing to translate any of my videos, tweet me or message me or some way you can get a hold of me, because apparently that's how you translate. You have to work directly with people on your YouTube channel, and I would love to be able to start translating videos for people in other countries.
Yeah, it doesn't happen automatically.
Yeah.
Although I was watching a Philip DeFranco video the other day, and there's a new app. I don't know who makes it, but maybe I don't know who makes it, but it literally will transcribe or caption as you say it with like no mistakes.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
I know.
Yeah, because Google Translate I don't think is that great. Oh,
this is not.
Okay, so yeah, he's got some. No, you don't need to show him your bug bites.
Double bug bite. Ouch.
That sucks.
It doesn't hurt.
It's pretty big.
It's just crazy.
That sucks, dude. Okay, this question is good. JME time. I've been married for 8 years and we don't have a joint bank account. Curious, how do you two choose? Did you just do a shocked face? How do you two choose who pays for what, or do you have a joint account?
Don't do that.
You can't say don't. I actually think that.
Doesn't it cause this? Like, if there's something like this in your marriage, then you should change it so it's like
this. Or wait, like this. Okay, I'm gonna add to that. I don't necessarily agree.
Think halfway. Neither do I. Not necessarily. But
yeah.
The way I did it was like before we got married. It was like
we switched really early.
Yeah.
I was like, give me your money. That's actually pretty much what it was. I actually had a really expensive speeding ticket, and I wasn't sure how to pay it.
It was a seatbelt ticket. She put it under her shoulder, and she got the ticket, didn't pay it, and then it doubled or something like that. It was a late fee, and it was like the day before I went to a casino. I won $600. I had the cash still in my pocket, and then she came to my work and was like,
the advice of my mom.
Yeah.
My mom was like, oh, you don't have money for the ticket? Well, you should go ask your fiance. He's about to be your husband anyways. I was like, good idea, Mom. And I drove to his work on break. I was like, money? Okay, so.
I wasn't really sad about it. But
No,
I was
you
like,
weren't.
of course. And I just like whipped it out and gave her the cash right there.
Okay, so what I think that what he said earlier about no two marriages being alike it plays into that too. I know people who are married and have separate bank accounts.
My brother.
Yeah, and for them, that's what they want to do. That's what works for them. That's, great. For us, like he said, we've had a joint bank account from the beginning, and we've always viewed money as our money. When it was him only making money, he viewed it as our money. When it was me only making money, which I put quotes around because, like, if you wanted to get really technical, you could say that I was the breadwinner in our family because I'm a YouTuber, but that's also not true because he films for me. He also helps negotiate things with me. He's also literally moral support to the 10th degree with me. He also today was helping write a script, like was brainstorming with me. So I feel like what you said, viewing everything as ours, and it's ours, we're a unit, helps create like not so much competition or jealousy or animosity or whatever. It's just ours.
It's like a hard question because I don't know your situation. So it's like,
yeah,
if you are both working and you know who makes more money, and then the person that's making more money, do they get to do more fun things, or they get to buy themselves things more often just because that's their luxury? Or
yeah, it kind of just depends.
That would get weird.
Yeah, I mean, but like honestly, my spending habits never really changed one way or the other. When he was the one making all the money, it was like I just pretended it was my money. And some might say that's bad, but to me it's like, well, we're married, and vice versa. When it was me making more money or making all the money, it was like, dude, it's your money too. Like,
I know people,
we're
I'm
team.
sure they've been married for a long time and they still do that.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, I would never want to do that.
Yeah.
Some people do that because they want to. Maybe you're asking right now because you've been doing it for a long time. You don't want to do it.
Yeah, maybe you're ready.
Ask your spouse.
So you're saying that's something to ask yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was a really good question. Okay, you guys are saying the nicest things, by the way. I'm not reading out all of your comments, but all the things that you were saying to me that are so complimentary, I'm reading them, and they're really, really nice. Thank you. Shout outs. Thanks to Lizette. Thanks to Shay Dawn, Nicole Anderson, Simone Whitehead. Whitehead. Ashley Marie 273 retracted her message. We already got this one. How long have you guys been married? We've been married, and I see a really good question below that too. Dan and I have been married for 9.5 years. So next February is our 10-year wedding anniversary. Yes, we're planning a vow renewal ceremony. Yes, it's gonna be a bash. My 30th birthday party is next month. It's gonna be on May 6th, and we're going like, I'm having a dance floor, a margarita machine, all this stuff, and I feel like it's gonna be a really fun prep for like, what do we want to do for our vow renewal? I'm pretty excited about that.
Pretty much gonna be the same thing.
Probably, because whenever it's a party for me, I'm like, let's make it Mexican themed. Like that's all I ever want to do. I'm like, tacos, margaritas, and a dance floor. We're good. So, and I'm really excited about that too, because those of you who've been watching know that I have had a lot of like body pain and injuries, but I'm literally just at this place where I'm like, I'm gonna take the pain that comes with that, because I literally just want to dance.
Drinking, it loosens everything up and you don't feel the pain.
True that, homie. True that. Yeah. Okay, so someone. Yeah, your muscles relax. I like this question, Jacqueline Wright. How do your personal relationships transfer to your business relationship? What's
ours?
Yeah, ours. Because since we work together, obviously.
Well, sometimes it sucks because it bleeds together. Yeah.
I like your honesty.
So sometimes, sometimes it sucks.
Do you want to elaborate on that? Or no? Because we're live.
Well, if we're lying in bed, we don't want to get up in the morning because we're kind of.
Oh yes, that's a good point.
To, start writing something. Or
yes.
We have to film.
Because when you go to work, it's like you have to be somewhere, and then I'm like, well, I should get up because Dan's at work. Like I should start working.
I mean, but that's a luxury that not many people get to have. I mean, we could wake up one morning and go, hey, you want to turn on some Netflix? But we're not.
It's so rare that we do that, though.
No, I'm saying we could.
We could, yeah. The fact that we even have that as a problem is like, what would you call it? First world problem.
Sometimes we bicker.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely been like a learning process.
Yeah.
We've been working together now for like 4.5 years-ish. And I just think I don't even know how to explain the history of those 4.5 years, because we've learned so many little things over the years of working together. Things like, I've mentioned this in a video, Dan handles all of our money. Like he's the one who makes sure that stuff isn't, I mean, we actually have a business manager too, but we still have to know kind of what's going on. And one thing that we realized maybe a couple months ago, was that like, I don't want to have any money conversations on the fly. Like we have to set money meetings. So we've had to learn how to set
Sometimes I'll bring it up
parameters.
out of the blue, like when she's like trying to edit or she's trying to prepare for something, and then kind of takes her thinking off into another direction, and that doesn't help you out.
Yeah, which I heard in this tape that's like a really common thing with couples, that usually one person's like the money person, and then they'll try to bring it up randomly to the other person, and the other person always feels ambushed. Mm-hmm. So setting money meetings has really helped us. And as far as working together, I don't really have an answer. We've just learned.
Sometimes we can work together really, really fast, but then sometimes we slow each other down because
we're so different.
Yeah.
We work very differently.
And sometimes I'll treat her like a sister instead of a wife.
Oh, so. or vice versa. It's hard when you get in that workflow. It's like, or like remembering to like have a certain respect for the other person's job. But I don't think there's really like a secret to that. I mean, don't you think it's just a matter of like going through the trenches and figuring out your working relationship?
Yeah, there's no manual. Working with your spouse, you just got to figure it out.
Yeah, you just figure it out as you go.
Some people can't do it. Some people would never do it.
Yeah. So. This was a dream of mine. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen in the long term. Who knows? But working with my husband has been a dream of mine since I was a little girl. Like I always knew I want to work. I want to work when I grow up, but I also knew like I want to be a mom. And so to me, from very, very young, the only thing that made sense to me was having a company with my husband, because I thought, how am I going to be a stay-at-home mom and work if I don't have my husband's support and he doesn't have flexibility? Like if I have to go somewhere, then my husband's with the kids, or like we can both bring the kids together to a shoot. So it's really cool how it's panned out. And I know we don't have kids yet, but we'll see. But it's been really interesting doing that. So people are asking about kids. I've talked about this a bunch. Actually, if you want to hear our answers on kids, I gave a really in-depth answer over on another thing I did called Why We Don't Have Kids Yet. But we do want to have kids is the long answer short. I always love your reactions on food videos. You're always surprised. They work out. That's because I don't cook with a recipe. 8 times out of 10, whatever I'm cooking, it's the first time I've cooked it. That's actually not true. I make a lot of favorites, but I'm never cooking by a recipe, even when they're favorites. It's like something I just throw my crap together and make something. So Savannah, thank you for saying hi and taking pictures with me yesterday. Where was I yesterday? Oh, at the hair salon. Savannah, you're welcome, girl. Shout out to Savannah. We met at the hair salon. I was getting a facial. Okay, this is a good one. Megan Stanley, how do y'all stay strong in your relationship and your faith? And we're gonna start answering questions a little bit faster because the plan is to only have this be like a half-hour-ish live stream today. And I am gonna start doing more live streams. But okay, my answer is we've joined a life group recently. We were not in like a Bible study life group for a while, and we finally have like settled into our current church, and we're in a life group. And we also try to listen to the Bible in the morning. Like I've talked about that in routine videos.
I'm gonna need to buy a Red Bull.
Yeah, you are. Do you have an answer for that? How do y'all stay strong?
I was gonna say the same thing.
Joining a life group is really, really, really helpful, or a Bible study, we call them life groups, because it takes you guys as a couple and puts you in a smaller group setting where you're talking about and studying the Bible, like, and learning more about your faith. I think it makes it very real.
One smaller point.
Yeah.
Like, what was the question actually?
Like, how do you stay strong in your faith?
No, the other side to it. How do they word it?
How do you stay strong in your relationship and your faith?
Oh, well, just the relationship wise, like, I wouldn't. I mean, this is something that I've never done before, and I see some people do it, but they badmouth their spouse to their friends behind their back. So I've never done that, and it's like,
I've never done that either.
You don't want to make your spouse look bad.
Yeah.
In front of your friends.
Yeah.
So don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. It's like that's your, in our opinion, this is the most important relationship we have. Like
not with your kids.
Yeah.
It's just
with each other.
Yeah. Those kids wouldn't be there without.
Yeah. first. You know, and I know it's debatable, but that's how I totally agree. That's how I feel too. I'll take a couple more questions. Do you each schedule alone time each day of the week? Actually, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Like alone time together, assuming?
No, alone. We always have our alone time.
Yeah, we have alone time a
I'm
lot.
racing. I'm just
alone.
Yeah, I'm in my zone. We do stuff on our own all the time. She's watching Friends and
Nashville. Go to Nashville soon.
I'm like, Nikki, can you please watch an episode of Nashville? I want to get on iRacing right now.
Yeah. And I'm like, all right, don't have to ask me twice. Okay. I'm not sure which one to answer. Like, there's how do you keep your spark in the relationship? How many fights do you have per month?
I don't have a fight tracker.
Yeah, we have, I don't know. We don't really fight necessarily. We have questions. That's a better way to word it. Yeah. And then what was, how do you keep the spark going in the relationship? Dude, I want to say I'm really bad at that in the sense that like I'm just trying, like, but I feel like sparks in relationships go like this.
Well, what do you mean by spark? Like when you first meet a guy or meet a girl,
I know what you're gonna say.
You have the butterfly feeling. That only happens in the beginning.
Yeah, that's like a physiological chemistry. And I actually don't think it is possible to keep that feeling forever. Like, I don't think it has to do with the person you're with. I think it's just a physiological reaction.
That's why you're asking, because that's what everybody asks. But it's something that happens involuntarily, and it only happens in the beginning because I guess it's your brain telling you to attach to somebody. So it's kind of tricking you, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, like, dude, I look at him and I think that he is so handsome, and I think he's hot, and I'm like, oh, I love you, but I don't have that feeling in my stomach
because
anymore.
You know me too well.
Yeah, and I know.
Like,
I also know you're not going anywhere too.
There you go. Part of that feeling is like you don't really know that person, but you want to get to know them.
Yeah, and you also don't. There's an excitement of like, are they going to stay?
Yeah.
Are they going to like me? I already know you like me, and you've seen me at my absolute worst. And
what
you're
does
so
it smell
thin.
like?
Yes.
No, that's creepy.
No, it's true though. I like that. Someone asked, where is it? Oh, Chelsea Rose asked, how did you afford? So.
Oh my God.
We did a real cheap. We got married because of the relationships we had, like our videographer, our photographer, the church, the cake. Everything was pretty much given to us by people who knew, so everything was really small budget. My dress was probably the most expensive thing.
Things still
like $700
cost money.
I'm gonna wear it again on our vow renewal.
We paid for it, so things did cost money. We had to figure out ways to come up with that. We did Christmas balls. So this is like an inside joke with our family, but probably not gonna make it sound funny. But her mom had a corporate account where she had this like super decorative Christmas ball ornament, and we had to make 1,300 of them. So we had to figure out how to mass produce this thing. We had to get a foam ball, shiny fabric, cut into circles. We had to sew the fabric around the ball, then rhinestone the ball, then put a thread and a hook through the ball, then this giant feather from like a boa, and then a jewel, and just like
it was
we made
intense.
1,300 of them. So many hours.
So many hours.
But we $1,000.
I love how you remember that amount.
Oh yeah. So maybe it might have been $4,500. So that was money that went towards the wedding too. But it was like feathers and rhinestones and glue and just Christmas balls everywhere, and it was like hard. It was the project from hell. It was worth it.
It was worth it. I feel like when people, because we got married really young, 21, and I feel like people talk about money being a reason to not get married a lot. And I think it just depends on what kind of life and lifestyle you want, because our wedding was low key, but I knew, I'm like, well, I mean, maybe we're just gonna have a low key life forever, whatever, that's cool, I'm happy. But I also was like, if I want to do a bigger wedding one day, like, then I just do something bigger at my vow renewal. Like, we'll do it then, which is what we're gonna do. And we lived in a garage when we first got in someone's garage that was converted into like a little studio apartment. But it was pretty hard, like, so.
But if we would have put on married, then we wouldn't have made all those memories.
I literally thought you were gonna say we wouldn't have had sex, because that was true. We did wait to have sex till we were married.
No, like, I don't know. If
Yeah.
you really want to get married, just do whatever it takes.
Mhm.
And if that still isn't even good enough monetarily, just, you can do it really cheap.
Mhm.
It's, I don't know, part of having a wedding, like, I have to invite every single person I know. If your ego can get past it, it could just be super, super small.
Yeah.
With your family and to hold the flowers and the candles. I don't know.
Yeah, you're just moving in with each other.
Yeah. And regardless of how grand the party is, you're still making that memory.
Mm-hmm.
And that's basically all you're going to be able to take away from it.
Yeah, I think that's the most important. Okay, we really got to answer, like,
There
really.
was so much about my wedding that I don't remember, or I didn't have any cake.
I did.
Too busy, like, it just went by so fast. I ate like 3 meatballs that whole day.
I ate some food, but I didn't actually. I had cake. I didn't eat much food. But okay, we're gonna answer quick the next couple questions because we're gonna end it. Okay, can we do it quick?
Yeah, we were supposed to be in the car 5 minutes.
Okay, here we go.
Whatever.
All right, John and Madamba, how do you stay faithful and true to each other? Okay, my answer.
Easy.
He says it's easy. I think that it has to do with continually trying to grow your relationship because people evolve, and I think you have to try to evolve together. And I think that the more ways that you can find to unify your life together and grow together, I think it helps lend itself to staying faithful to each other because you're creating a life together. You're not creating these totally separate lives and not growing together. Therapy is also really helpful too because you make sure that you're bringing up just issues that you might need to work on together so you keep growing and things don't become like these big mountain issues that you resent each other for. And your answer is easy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Try to answer the last. Dang, you guys asked a lot of questions. Okay, you picked the last question. You guys asked a lot of flipping questions, and I feel like I hardly got through them. I'll do another live stream sooner in life rather than later because I realized it had been a month since my last live stream. And that's not cool.
I'm trying to find a question before.
I'm still a little sunburned. This is from a week ago. I hate getting sunburned. Literally every time I get burnt, I'm like, I just thrashed my skin. Like I feel like you age every time you sunburn, and I'm like, oh man, crap. Should I do red lips?
Oh, this is interesting.
Yeah.
But the answer is obvious. Have you guys ever thought about having separate bedrooms? No, but sleeping next to someone isn't great for me. Interesting, because that's one of my other points.
Yeah.
With her.
Wait, that was an unfair last question. I mean, I think if
Really?
you can't sleep next to someone, then don't. It's like if it's that simple. Like I have friends that like
buy a bigger bed and just, you have your side.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. That's
Yeah,
cute, Rachel. What does he weld? What does he weld? Female entering the industry.
Ooh, structural steel. So very rarely use stick, but flux core NR232 on beams and columns.
Okay,
Buildings.
but yeah, he's done structural. So I feel like I'm just.
That's all. Professionally, I've done stainless steel TIG on aviation stuff, but 95% of my welding career was in structural steel. So
Buildings. He built the YouTube
schools,
space
libraries.
in LA.
I built the YouTube studios in LA. Custom homes and hospitals and whatnot.
Stuff. This is what I think a good last question is. Chasten Siegel.
And I have worked with a girl before too, so just one.
So you're not the only one. Good luck. That's cool.
Mhm.
You're a badass. Okay, Chasten Siegel. Best advice for newly married couples. I know what mine is. Should I go? Do you want to? My advice was given to us from our therapist. my therapist, sometimes our therapist. And that is this thing called 3 minutes. I think I've told you guys about this. I think that it creates a space that makes it so that you don't over talk your problems to death, but you don't keep things down, and you encourage maybe the less emotional person to talk. So what you do is every day, one of you gets a 3-minute slot, and you literally set a timer. You don't guess 3 minutes. You set a timer, and for 3 minutes, the other person sits there and you talk and you say whatever, whether you express how you feel on that day, any issues you wanted to get out. You have to talk, and you have to use that space to talk. It has to be feelings related, or
And the recipient can't.
They can't respond.
They can't respond, and they can't talk at all.
Yeah, they
It's
can't interrupt
it's like
you.
a conch, so that you can't talk
Yeah.
or make a face or like that's the rule.
Yeah, they have to just completely like
Yeah.
sit there stone cold. That's not the right word. So they sit there. So
Sit
what it
there and pay
does,
attention, and that's it.
yeah, it takes the pressure off of the other person to have to respond. And it also makes it so that person talking, it's a safe space. Maybe they feel like they don't want to be bitching anymore. It's like, I just want to tell you this, and I don't even want you to respond. Like, and then the other person, at the end, when you're done, you're like, great, 3 minutes, let's get back to our life. They can choose to either respond tomorrow during their 3-minute
No,
session.
you can't. Once the 3 minutes is done, then
You can't talk about it.
Yeah.
You have to get
No.
back to regular life. Or if they don't even want to respond, it gives them time after that to then change maybe the thing you were talking about having a problem with. So that's my answer. What's your answer?
Same.
Oh, it is? That's it?
Sure.
Give me my baby, my angel. All right, guys. So that is it. We're going to say goodbye now. We're actually heading down to Hans Zimmer now. I'm so excited. I actually started crying yesterday. I came in the room crying, and he was like, what's the matter? I was like, I'm so excited to see Hans Zimmer tomorrow. Wasn't I literally crying?
Let's just go already.
All right, I got to go now,
They're
guys.
waiting for us.
We'll do another live stream soon. Let us know if you want another marriage one, or what kind of this basically the comments are going to wipe, and there'll be new comments when I hang up. So go in the comments. Let me know what type of live stream you'd like to see next. If you want to see another marriage one, or get ready with me, or I don't even know what other kind of live stream exists. Cooking. And we'll see you soon. Bye, guys. Can I stop this? Stop broadcasting.